achievement. They called you when they got you to believe it. Thumb and finger held to their foreheads in an L shape, trapped in a capitalist hellscape. Let's fight back and have some talks about class and the massive cost of the disastrous plots of fascists and Nazis, fat cats and fox. It's 1,000 natural shocks. A Bad with Money podcast.
Hello and welcome to 1,000 Natural Shocks, a Bad with Money podcast. I'm your host, Gabe Dunn, and it is December 4th, Thursday, as I'm recording this, and a lot has happened other than Allison, my co-host on Just Between Us, having her baby on Thanksgiving unexpectedly, which was a really amazing positive, and that's a story that maybe we'll tell on the YouTube channel at some point. But yeah, that was beautiful. Parker Jude, welcome to the world on Thanksgiving, making fools of us all who thought you would come on Christmas. I'm having one of those days where I feel really down. And not just down like depressed, but a little bit scattered and defeated. What am I supposed to be doing? I think that's what a lot of people have been asking themselves. And a friend of mine said, don't you feel like you have some direction or some motivation and positivity, or at least forward momentum coming from doing the work that I'm doing in terms of anti-ICE activism? And I'm sure I've mentioned this maybe before, but I was like, no, no. If anything, I constantly worry that there's something else that I've taken my eye off of that would be really important for me to be keeping track of. All the information just kind of ping pongs around my head, and it's hard to get it to land on something. I'll open tabs and then close them, and then open new tabs and then close them. Yeah, it's really weird. A couple stories hit me today, and before I get into them, I want to say that it's become clear that there's a lot of suppression of media, not just around the world, but even as close as domestically. There is a lot that we in LA are not seeing about what is happening in Charlotte or New York, Florida. You know, there's this misconception that, quote, Alligator Alcatraz, end quote, has been disbanded or shut down, or that, you know, people in New York have fought back so much that probably it means that nobody's being taken, or there were Palestine rallies still going on, and we've heard nothing about them. Apparently there was a massive one this past weekend, and all of us in the group chat were like, did you hear about that? Did you hear about that? So it's become clear that channels for communication are either skewed, specifically blocked, algorithmed out of our eyes, or just it's too much. It's too much coming at you at once, and it's hard to focus on something. And so I am very, very interested, because I am lucky enough to have this platform, because I'm lucky enough to have people who listen to me from all over the country and all over the world. I am very interested in what is going on in your neighborhoods or in your states. How are people fighting back? What are you screaming from the rooftops and nobody is covering it, and everybody is getting the wrong impression or the wrong idea from the mainstream media? If there is something like that, I want to help you amplify that, and I will. If you want to send an email, if you want to send a voice memo, I don't know. I think we still have gabeisbadwithmoney@gmail.com if you want to send it there, because I am really curious about what's going on in different places, and I want to use my platform to help if I can. You can also hit me up on Instagram at Gabe S. Dunn. Please message me, because there's this narrative going around LA that our mayor's on our side, that everything's going to be fine, that she stands with the protesters and the people of LA. And that's not true, because LAPD has been working with ICE. And I'm sure in other cities, I have been seeing clips of Chicago PD, of Portland PD, of NYPD working with ICE and DHS. I know that there are officers in those cities that people are standing up, the mayor is standing up, let's say, or saying that they are, and then practically on the ground, that is not able to happen because of city police and not because of ICE or DHS. But I've been grappling today with the idea of the local versus the national, because I went to this field congressional hearing on last week with Robert Garcia and Maxine Waters and Jasmine Crockett and Karen Bass and a bunch of different representatives from Congress, Congressional House Oversight Committee. And what they're doing is they're launching a dashboard where people can submit incidents of ICE brutality for them to gather, I guess. I mean, what happened was they never really said what they were going to do with them. And I felt annoyed because what does that even mean? So I went and looked up the actual wording of the dashboard. And one, it says that they're not accepting videos from social media. They're only accepting vetted videos from litigation or from news sources. So already, I mean, Saudi Arabia is going to buy CNN. The Free Press is like in cahoots with CBS, and Barry Weiss is there. If you know anything about media, a lot of it is bought by right-wing sources or foreign assets at this point. And then two, the next step is to have the investigative body be the Department of Homeland Security. So it would be the Department of Homeland Security investigating itself. And that was disappointing. And I made some videos that thankfully other people were on my side and agreed with me about it being really, really disappointing and sort of a nothing burger. I called it a hangover, where I feel like there's this disappointment hangover from interacting with the Democrats. They make a lot of speeches for Instagram. They really want to go viral. Because I felt if you are these powerhouse congresswomen like Jasmine Crockett, like Maxine Waters, if you are the House Ranking Committee member like Robert Garcia, you have a lot of momentum and a lot of power behind you to come up with different scenarios that would allow for direct action to be taken. Making a dashboard when we're already 10 months into this makes no sense to me. And then today, we found out that there is another dashboard being set up just for California through the AG's office. And the idea is, at first I was like, oh my God, more dashboards. This one is that anybody can submit. You can submit your own video. You can submit a video that you took, like a video of yourself, anything having to do with ICE brutality. And the AG's office, Attorney General's office, will supposedly look into it. And the idea there is that it's being looked into for like legal reasons, which I think is good. I mean, it is confusing to have two dashboards and not really any explanation other than if I go digging of what each one is for. Because if you accept social media videos on one and not on the other, I'm a lunatic. So I'm keeping track of all this, but nobody else is. I mean, there are other people that are, but I just mean, like the people who would want to submit this stuff, because there's a desperation to it. You want to submit it everywhere. You want to play it on a Jumbotron. You want everybody to be talking about your relative or friend who was taken. Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. I need the right person with the right background who can move our business forward. If I wanted candidates who match what I'm looking for, I'd trust Indeed-sponsored jobs. I actually found my job on Indeed, and it was so easy to search through what I wanted to do and my skills and find the right place that was looking for exactly what I could offer. Hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. Give your job the best chance to be seen with Indeed-sponsored jobs. They help you stand out and hire quality candidates who can drive the results you need. Sponsored jobs boost your post for quality candidates so you can reach the exact people you want faster. And it makes a big difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs because you reach a bigger pool of quality candidates. Join the 1.6 million companies that sponsor their jobs with Indeed. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. Now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/badwithmoney. Just go to Indeed.com/badwithmoney right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/badwithmoney. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed. And I saw this other video of Gregory Bovino, who is like the guy spearheading all of this ICE activity. And a reporter is interviewing him as he walks around New Orleans, and he's gloating about how many people they're picking up, how they're just doing big sweeps and just like getting a lot of people in a big group. And the reporter's like, where are you going? And he's like, I'm going that way to get whoever we get there. And I just like saying everything out loud, which they have been doing. And then she asks if he's planning to go to other cities. He's like, oh yeah, we're going to go to every city. And I understand the jump to, well, what are we supposed to do? And my complaint is that I'm not in charge. I don't have a degree. I'm not a politician. But I would think off the top of my head, maybe there's a way that Congress could shed light on lawsuits, or maybe every one of the House Democrats could wear a shirt with a different picture or name of someone who's been detained and then do a sit-in on the House floor, or make like a human chain around the White House. I don't know. Like, there's got to be something more than just sitting around in suits. Look, those are my 80s ass ideas, but there has to be some sort of sense of emergency or 5-alarm fire. And I say this today because I've been tracking the story of the 6-year-old boy, I think his name's Yonchin, who was separated from his father, Faye, when they were taken by ICE. And at this point, nobody knows where the kid is. They will not reveal where the kid is. ICE and DHS are not answering questions about where a 6-year-old boy is. I feel the emergency. I feel it in my body. And so I'm telling you about it. And I want to tell everyone about it. My instinct is go to Washington, go to New York, go to where this is happening. But what I want you to do is find an article about him, read it, share that article, share it in the group chat, share it with friends, share it so that people know that this is happening. You know, we hear a lot about kids, and I shouldn't be surprised that it fails to move people because we didn't do gun control after Sandy Hook. But I was talking to a friend of mine, Katie, who you guys heard on the show, and I was talking about my grandmother, who I think about a lot now because she is a Holocaust survivor. She passed away. And before she died, I interviewed her, and I asked her about some of the Holocaust stuff that she really never wanted to talk about. And we have this idea that when Holocaust level things are happening, either one, people just simply don't know, or two, they're complicit. And you could make an argument for people who don't know being complicit, and you could also make an argument for everybody not doing anything is complicit, more so than even like, oh, I joined the Nazi party. But when I asked her about how she was feeling when Jews were getting taken away, she was like a teenager, 13, 14. And she said that she wasn't really thinking about it. She didn't really care. Not that she didn't care, but she had friends and parties and boyfriends and like other stuff going on. And she didn't really think about it. It wasn't until she got picked up and then she was in a camp. And she didn't really like to talk about any of this. She is dead, so she doesn't get to tell me not to. That's a joke. She had a very sassy personality. So I think she would think that was funny. But you think that everyone is just cowering in fear, that this is happening and that every Jew and every, person, gay, Roma, everybody was cowering in fear and like knew and was hiding, like Anne Frank or like the family in the beginning of Inglourious Bastards, that everybody was so scared, but they weren't. My grandmother was Jewish. And she said she was like self-absorbed, and she said it herself, and she walked around and was like going to clubs, and she wasn't really political, she said, so she didn't really think about it. And they came to the house and they picked her up. And I don't know if there's a lesson there, but I hope that story at least opens your eyes to the ways people can behave during Holocaust level events until it happens to them. I don't know. I don't wish anything on anybody. I wish that I had super strength or something. I even wish I had gone to law school. But it's not like a movie. It's really not like a movie. It's just like every day. So that's today, December 4th, 2025. Okay, I love you guys. Bye. 1,000 Natural Shocks, a Bad with Money podcast, is a production of Noted Bisexual, produced by Melisa D. Monts and Diamond MPrint Productions. Edited by Diane Kang. Post-production sound by Coco Lorenz. And music by Zach Sherwin as sung by Sam Barbera. Thank you. Love you. Bye.